Somebody's puppy is barking.
That would be my puppy.
I hear your puppy bark. I'm reading my note here.
You are now streaming live.
And we can start?
We can.
5:59? Okay. Very well. So now we are back in open session, and I'll say hello and welcome to our February 17th meeting. And we met earlier in closed session to discuss a couple of development related matters. But before we proceed with our agenda tonight, I'd like to start the meeting with an acknowledgement to the contributions of the man who sat in this chair for many years. Our former mayor, Al Edmondson, there it goes, was a unique individual, and he loved this community and was a forward-thinking person who was committed to making our lives and improving the quality of life here on many levels. We see evidence of his work in sustainable projects. He promoted, for example, the clean and efficient and effective operations, the green buildings in our communities and our facilities. And those of us who had an opportunity to work with him knew him as a generous and kind man who encouraged everyone to participate, to do their best and be part of a team. I think he wanted to ensure actually that we in Middlesex Centre would be able to maintain our way of life here and have opportunities to enjoy all the things that life brings. I believe his legacy and contributions will have a lasting impact on our community. He'll be remembered as a coach and a volunteer, a teacher, a community leader, a neighbor, and a friend. He will be missed. Thank you, Mayor Al, for who you were and all you did for our municipality. We have no delegations or presentations or petitions tonight, so we can move to the adoption of the minutes. Item 6. The motion before us is that the minutes of Middlesex Centre Council meeting held on February 3rd, 2021 be adopted as printed. Do I have a mover and a seconder, please? Deputy Mayor Brennan and Councillor Scott, any opposed? Okay, seeing none, the minutes are carried. Moving to the consent agenda, item number 7. We have 6 items, 7.1 through 7.6. Is there anything here that anyone wants to question before we call the vote on these? Councillor Heffernan, go ahead.
Through you, Madam Mayor. I just wondered if Eric was available, if he could respond. Item number 3, the annual wastewater system performance report. And
he's coming on now.
Okay.
There he is.
Hi, Eric. Yeah, I noticed that it said in Ilderton, the current capacity is 1,120 cubic meters, and that it's going up to 1,300 cubic meters because there's a increase being added right now or in process or coming up. Is that enough to accommodate all our subdivisions that we currently have in process?
Through you, Madam Mayor. The rated capacity at the facility is actually 1,300 cubic meters per day. The 1,120 that's identified in that report was the rated capacity prior to the construction being finished in late 2019, 2020. So currently the capacity is 1,300 cubes. Related to the development, that capacity does allow for the ongoing development that's in the Ilderton catchment area currently.
So Clear Skies and Timberwalk, basically the phases they're in.
Correct.
But nothing else at this time.
It's being looked at in this calendar year 2020.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay, and we have capacity in the holding tanks then.
Correct. Yeah, through you again, Madam Mayor. With the construction that occurred, it added an equalization tank at the facility. And then through the treatment trains that currently exist there, we're able to treat the wastewater to the required levels stipulated in the ECA.
Okay, and we have enough capacity to hold that until the sludge is applied to the agricultural areas, right?
Yes, that is correct. Yeah.
Okay. Okay, thank you, Eric.
You're welcome.
Is there any other question? Okay, seeing none then, the motion before us under the consent, the motion before us is that the items that we have listed under the consent agenda for February 17th, 2021 be adopted as recommended. Do I have a mover and a seconder, please? Councillor Arts and Councillor Shipley. Is anyone opposed? And that motion is carried. Thank you. Now we're going to move to staff reports, and the first item we have is the municipal councillor appointment for Ward 4, and our clerk is going to present. So just give me one moment here to mute, and it's all yours.
Through the chair, I'm pleased to provide council with this report to confirm the appointment of Sue Cates to the office of Ward 4 Council. As per council's direction at our previous meeting, Sue was contacted following our council meeting to confirm if they would consent to accepting the office, and I'm pleased to advise that they have welcomed this decision. Further, it's been confirmed by myself that Ms. Cates remains eligible to hold office under the terms of the Municipal Election Act. Based on this individual consenting to accepting the role and their eligibility to fulfill this role, Councillor Cates will take the oath of office prior to the March 10th, 2021 council meeting date, following council's approval of this report this evening. At that time, we will have Ms. Cates join our council as the official Ward 4 representative, and we're certainly very much looking forward to having Ms. Cates join us at the Horseshoe. If there's any questions on members of council as to the process to date or to the next steps involved, I'd be more than happy to answer those at this time.
And unmuted. Okay. Are there any questions for James? Seeing none, then the motion before us is that the report CLK 05-2021 regarding the municipal council appointment Ward 4 be received, and that the council confirm the appointment of Sue Cates to the office of Ward 4 councillor for the remainder of the 2018 to 2022 term of council. Could I have a mover and a seconder, please? Deputy Mayor Brennan and Councillor Heffernan. Is anyone opposed? Seeing none, that is carried as well. Next item is a report regarding asset management software, and we're going to have Tiffany Farrell, our Director of Finance, present that. And there she is.
So thank you. So through you, Mayor DeVete, this is our asset management software report. So as council is aware, the municipality has been moving towards completing our update to our asset management plan, which will be presented to council, we're believing in April of this year. And this updated plan will outline everything that's required under the regulation, which will be great to see. And I'm really excited for council's response to this plan. I think it's great for our planning for the future. With that, we are looking into asset management software. This was part of the 2021 budget. And with the directors, we have come to a conclusion on the software that we would like to purchase for the asset management plan, which would be Dude Solutions. So the Dude Solutions software does work well with our aesthetic predictor software. So the aesthetic predictor software is what we use for our financial modeling. And you would have seen this being used in some of the presentations in the past with Watson's and Associates. So that is what we do for our financial forecasting with respect to our assets. The Dude Solutions will not only be an asset repository where we'll keep all of our assets and those details, it'll also have the maintenance component, which is included in the actual package. This software package also will have this citizen portal. So that's something that will link with our website, and our residents can actually put in issues into that would then alert our directors and employees of those issues, such as a pothole on a specific road, so that they'll know to go and do that maintenance. So it's a really interactive software as well. It'll have unlimited users for the price, and so we can set up the admin rights. So what I'm thinking with this is our members of our budget committee every year will have access to the asset management software in a read-only capacity, and this will help with when they're creating the budget with us every year. And I did bring Rob, the Director of Public Works and Engineering, and the Director of Community Services on to talk a little bit more about what they think this software can do for the municipality, and they will be more of the end users. Overall, we did evaluate 3 different software packages as a team. The one that we wanted to bring to the attention of council was Citywide, which is used by the majority of the municipalities in within our county. However, the price we did not feel would be in the best interest of the municipality overall. And I'll pass it over to Rob to kind of discuss some of his thoughts on this software.
Yeah, good evening, everybody. Yeah, no, I agree. We just did a thorough review of the 3 different softwares that were available or that we vetted. Certainly 2 of them stood out, and I think would have been both very good products, but in the end there was a very substantial cost differential between them, which really drove us towards one. Both have really similar features. There's maybe a couple of minor differences between them, but there is a wide range of features from them, from tracking assets to being able to do work orders. A lot of features that I think staff are quite excited to be able to use and start to implement for budget purposes of tracking costs and tracking the age and condition of assets as we progress. So I'm happy to answer any questions that you might have.
Was Scott going to jump in? Okay. Oh, sorry. Go ahead, Deputy Mayor.
Through you, Madam Mayor, to Rob, you indicated that 2 of the products were similar in performance, and one, although one was a lot more cost. And Tiffany had alluded to that the one that was more expensive, a lot of people use. Was there something there that why the other people were all leaning towards that one, even though it was more expensive, or is there some other reason?
So the one that was more expensive has been in the Canadian marketplace longer. It's a Canadian-based one. It's actually, they're based out of London, I believe. So certainly within Ontario, they have I think a reasonable market share, whereas the other provider is an American company, but they have entered the Ontario market, and certainly their product is certainly equivalent. And in some respects, I think there's some ways that we think it may exceed the competitor as well, but both are very similar in their function and what they can do. So,
okay, thank you.
If I can just add there through you, Madam Mayor, the Dude Solutions is not, although new to the Canadian market, is been around the American market for quite some time. They are very well established, albeit an interesting name. They were originally Facility Dude at one point, so it's now Dude Solutions, but they have been around for quite some time. We did some reference checks, most notably would be Niagara Parks Commission. And part of the reason they went with that was the bridge that links the US and Canada and in Niagara Falls was under the ownership of the Americans, and they were using Dude Solutions. So that was kind of the tie-in and the initial start for them. I'm somewhat familiar with it. We actually tested Facility Dude at the time, back in, I want to say 2014, as a trial for our work order ticket management system. Understanding there was this massive, software that we could really utilize. We weren't quite ready to go there yet. So as Rob says, I think staff are pretty excited with its capabilities. From the work order management system, the integration with the public and issuing those work order tickets, along with QR codes and things of that nature, where you're really identifying each asset in each park or each our facility, etc. So we are pretty excited to utilize the software.
Thank you for that. Any other questions from other council? I don't see any. I'm going to say thank you very much for that presentation. It's always exciting for me to see that we're moving forward and doing this asset management piece was a big job, and it was undertaken some time ago. And I think this is just another step in the evolution of making it easier for you to do a good job of tracking everything and making sure that it's all tied in, it's integrated. So I applaud your efforts, and this is really good news. So thank you for that. If there's nothing else, then we have the motion. The motion is that report CPS 06-2021 dated February 17th, 2021 regarding municipal asset management software be received, and that council approves the purchase of Dude Solutions software at an initial cost of $19,962.60 for 2021 and $12,840 which will be accounted for in the annual budget. And further, that council delegate authority to the Director of Corporate Services / Treasurer to execute all related service agreements with Dude Solutions. Could I have a mover and a seconder, please? Councillor Heffernan and Councillor Scott, any opposed? And that motion is carried. Now, we should move to correspondence. We have to wait till 7 o'clock for the Committee of Adjustment. So if we move to correspondence, and we can continue from there. There are 3 items. Skip the Committee of Adjustment. Here we go. Just one moment while I move through my materials. There we go. Okay, there were 3 items, as I said, for the correspondence. Is there anything anyone wants to ask or speak to? Seeing none, then the motion before us is that correspondence items listed on the February 17th, 2021 council agenda be received for information. A mover and a seconder, please. Councillor Shipley and Deputy Mayor Brennan, any opposed? And then those are received. Deputy Mayor, would you like to do the county council update, please?
Yes, we had county council yesterday. We talked about the budget committee starting to meet this week. They have, I think, 3 sessions this week to go through the county budget, 2. Anyways, they're meeting this week. The plan is for the budget to come to county council on March the 9th at 10 a.m. To review and possibly pass at that point in time. Morgan Calvert, who was the ITS manager, has taken a position with Adelaide Metcalf as their CEO. Chris Bailey has now moved up into that position. He's been with the county for quite some time and worked his way up through IT. So he's the new manager of the ITS. KPMG, the auditors for the county, attended county council yesterday and gave us a presentation on the audit plan for the pandemic and how they're going to go about doing the audit this year and that. So they'll be starting that over the next 2 to 3 months and reviewing the books for 2020 for the county. A couple of tenders were passed. Tenders for hot asphalt. Dufferin Contracting got the hot asphalt contract for the county at $3.2 million. And Levy's got the cold in place asphalt for $539,000. Combined, these contracts come in under budget of about $162,000 under budget this year, which is a good news story. There will be traffic lights going in at County Road 81 and Elginfield Road this year. There were several other places where they were looking at traffic lights or rumble strips. There's new studies ongoing for traffic safety at intersections, and these are being monitored by the county, and only the 1 set of traffic lights will be going in this year as they continue to monitor other intersections. There's 3 woodlot areas, one in Lucan Badolf, one in Adelaide Metcalf, and one in Strathroy Caradoc, where there's some trees being taken out to square up bushes. And as per the forestry plan, they have to replant as many trees or more trees than they took out. So there is a bunch of replanting going to happen at these 3 locations to compensate for the trees that are coming out. And other than that, those are the main highlights of the county meeting. Thank you, Madam Mayor.
Thank you, Deputy. Are there any questions for John on those items? Okay, thank you very much. Then we can move to, is there any other business I should ask? Does anyone on council have anything they want to bring forward? No? Okay, then we can move to item 14, which is bylaws. We have to wait. Yes, here I am getting ahead of myself again. We should have a recess then till 7.
Councillor Scott has got a question.
Councillor Scott. Yes. Do you have a question?
There we go. Oh,
There
thank
you
you, Madam Mayor. Sorry, it took me a minute to find that button again. I know you haven't done bylaws yet, but I just had a quick question about 14.4 and 14.5. I'm trying to reference them to the property that we did, or what they're for again exactly.
Do you want to speak to those? Just a second, let me mute.
I was just trying to clarify them. I was reading them and I was not remembering where they came from.
Thank you. Through the chair to Councillor Scott. Item 14.5 is a subdivision agreement for 1960634 Ontario Inc., better known as Kilworth Heights. That item has been removed from the agenda at this time. The agreement was not ready to go, so we removed that item from the agenda, and that's bylaw 2021-016. The previous item 14.4, bylaw 2021-015, is the vacant land condominium agreement for that same developer. If we need further context around that agreement, I'm sure we can bring on Rob from our engineering side to provide some additional details, but that is who the agreement is the party to.
Okay, thank you very much. Yeah, I was just trying to reference it with the Ontario thing. I wasn't sure exactly, but I think I recall that now. Thank you.
And Councillor Heffernan?
Yeah, I think those two items were related to Clear Skies. Were they not? I know it's the yeah, okay.
That's
so they were,
yeah,
okay. Yeah, I know it throws you with those numbered companies. Okay.
Okay.
Through the chair.
Try that.
Through the chair, Councillor Heffernan, that's correct. That is in reference to Clear Skies. I misspoke earlier. You're absolutely correct. It is the Clear Skies development. Thank you.
If there's nothing else, then I've got 6:22 now, and we have to go into committee of adjustment at 7. So we could take a recess and come back a few minutes before so we can get settled in. Okay.
Yeah, so
all right.
about a 30-minute recess.
Yeah, so yeah, 30 minutes.